Hello everyone, welcome to RDLP. I'm Solon, and we are playing Assault Android Cactus today. I am so excited to share this game with you. This is a Witch Beam game that is in pre-alpha right now. You can get the demo on Steam, and I highly recommend you do. You can also buy it, I think it's $15 on Steam, to get early access and all sorts of goodies that come with it. So, yeah, this is Assault Android Cactus, and it is basically a class-based top-down twin-stick shooter, which means that we have a variety of characters. There are 5 right now. It'll be 8 when it comes out. And each one of them has a different primary and secondary way of firing, as top-down shooters are wanting to do. And so we can pick from anyone. I'll just grab Holly here. And a wide variety of levels. There are some that are still worked on, so I cannot choose some of these. But we have about 10 core, 2 entire worlds that are finished, and then a variety of in-progress levels, and they're all very, very cool. So let's just jump in and show you what's the haps in this game. So in Assault Android Cactus, you play as one of 5 androids that are trying to kind of maneuver the mysteries of this, I think it's a crash-landed ship. And we're trying to keep the peace, basically. All of the robots have gone a little haywire, and so it's our job to fix that. So, Holly specifically is a character that her shots lock on to whatever they start hitting, and so it makes it very easy to do kind of fancy things like chaining your combos together and maneuvering around a level while finding power-ups and stuff like that. And then she can also use her secondary ability, this giant cannonball, which is basically like in Gauntlet you have the BFG, and it's exactly like that, except more pirate-themed. I can make these robots walk the plank. And so, that is basically what we are doing. This is like a kind of very arena-focused, one level at a time, score attack sort of game where you're trying to chain combos together and complete a level as fast as possible without getting killed, without dying, without running out of battery. You have the battery meter at the very top in green, where if I get hit too many times, I don't die. I can tap the fire button to get up and get back into it, because Holly's a no-nonsense chick and doesn't care about anything, especially walked down by some measly bullets. But if I get knocked down too many times, it's going to take some time to get up, which means that I won't be able to get to batteries in time. And so these batteries pop out of enemies after about 20 or so enemies. And so the game is about killing robots as quickly as possible. And so there's 3 different kinds of power-ups. You got auto turrets, you've got this accelerate bonus that lets you fly around the map faster, but also brings these little nuts or cogs or kind of small tiny pickups towards you, and those help you power up your weapon. On the top left you can see there's a health bar, but just underneath the health bar there's a little tiny white bar that you can fill up, and it increases the power of your weapon. And so each character has, I think, 4 levels before max level, and each of them feel very, very powerful. You kind of start out a little measly pea shooter weapon, but then as the level progresses, it expands massively. to the point to where you're like mowing through enemies with just your primary weapon, and you start to forget, oh, I have a cannonball I can also use. So I have just been absolutely in love with this game, and there's been so many amazing things that I've just been kind of thinking about with how this game works at a more critical level. Obviously, you can see that it takes a lot from the old school top-down shooters, your kind of Smash TV sort of stuff, but it does a little differently. And I think that one of the most important things about it is actually its primary contemporary that it's working off of is actually Force Gemini, which is an old N64 game that wasn't a huge hit, but was still something that was really, really cool and powerful. And that makes me really think about how the game-making spectrum, especially at the indie level, but even more than that, even at a broader sense, is actually now taking its cues from the N64 era, which is amazing. When you think about it, the N64 came out 18 years ago, which means that it's at that new pinnacle where media kind of has a 2-decade running thing before certain trends become nostalgic. So we had the 90s, which means everything's in music is becoming more folksy now, to kind of reflect the grunge or pop folk that was missed 20 years ago. And so now you're seeing that now. Now with Assault Android Cactus, we're seeing things that look exactly like things like Force Gemini, and other contemporaries, I guess, would be kind of like I made a game with zombies in it, where it's this tightly coded experience in a very just nice and happy package, focused entirely on what feels good, which is an interesting thing. Everything about this game feels super snappy. And it's kind of interesting that's a development focus, is not like having fun, but what feels good. And so what feels good to people that grew up in the early 2000s happened to be Force Gemini. Anyway, so I think that's a really cool thing, and I think that we're going to get a lot of games that are in that kind of GoldenEye, Perfect Dark feeling of like, alright, this is what feels good, this is what I want to see in games, and maybe we can get some more kind of, when the GameCube games start rolling out, the GameCube-inspired games, we can get some Cubivore, we can get some Pikmin. Completely different kind of game, but it's just kind of funny to expand on what were those quirky and beautiful N64 games that were so exciting. Anyway, you've been seeing me get ranks and kill a bunch of enemies, and they were all super different and very interesting, but I feel like I haven't shown you other kinds of androids, so let's play as Coral as we continue on, and we are going to go into fighting our first boss. Everyone meet Embryo. Embryo's a sexy cat. He knows how to get down on Friday nights. Rats, sneaky filthy rats scurrying around my hold. Ah, Coral is it? What are you doing down here? Don't you have a Pilates class to teach? Yeah, that's kickboxing, bruh. Nobody shows up for class when robots take over the ship, though, so I've got some free time. You look like a bit of a punching bag. You have no idea who you're messing with, Half-Pint. This won't even count as a warm-up for me. So this is the first boss. Bosses come in different waves, so you have to defeat each different part of the robots, so we've got like, what, 6 waves or so. And it's kind of beautiful, the things that Assault Android Cactus does with their boss fights. Oh, come here, battery. There we go. There's a huge range of risk and reward styled design choices where it's like, alright, oh, I went down. You can get close or far away from the enemy, and depending on what you do, you can either succeed or fail in different ways. So, oh no. Here's the very last phase. Has this like huge bullet hell kind of section. Whereas and it kind of puts together all the other phases combined, where we had, he was firing lots of bullets, he was firing rockets, sometimes he was firing in these intersecting, weaving lines that contained us, and now, on top of everything, he's also moving around. So I'm gonna be kind of cheeky and kill him with my shield, so if he knocks us down, I can just keep doing damage with my shield. And that concludes your complimentary first lesson. Somehow, I don't think you'll be a regular. How did you get so strong? Water can flow or it can crash. Look it up. Coral's kind of the boss. But, yeah, I want to just do that one more time because I want to show you a little closer what's going on with each of these phases. Each boss and each level, really, is a dance. And when you're first starting out trying to fight all of these bosses, all of these monsters, all of these different robots and their different classes, you're trying to figure out what is the right way to do it. And it's like you are being led in this dance. But then as you figure out how to better manipulate the enemy, you actually start to lead the dance. There's little mechanics like the battery as being one specific thing. The battery always pops out of the backside of the robot once you've defeated its phase. I'm just gonna take you down right now. How do you like that one? That was cool. He did like it. He's like, no big deal. But the battery always pops out of the backside, so you can control where you're shooting the opponent from in order to choose where you want the battery to come out of. Especially with someone like Coral, whose secondary fire is a reflective shield. It does damage, but it also reflects bullets. You get to be the Lord of the Dance in this case. Or the Baroness, even. And so as you learn the dance and figure out how to best survive it... Didn't get any chain. I haven't seen that in a long time. As you learn the dance, you become like a master of the dance, and it's very, very cool.